Okay, so in this video we're going to switch up from Michigan football and talk some current events. Welcome back to Big Discussions. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar. I just wanted to make a quick video on the Botham Jean case and the Amber Guyger sentencing, and now the Josh Brown murder. So I want to get in and out pretty quickly on this video, as I have a lot to do today. I actually meant to tape this last night, but I went out to see the Joker movie, and I'll probably create a review about that coming up shortly. And it was taking forever for my last Michigan football video to load up onto YouTube. Recently, my videos have been going up pretty fast, but I enabled some updates from Hewlett Packard on my computer, and that might have something to do with it. If you know anything about why videos take longer to upload sometimes than other times, please leave something in the description box or shoot me an email at bigdiscuss76 at bigwordsarepowerful.com. That's on the credit slides on both sides of this video. Both sides of this video, I'm sorry. I gotta remember to talk slow when I'm taping these things sometimes. In any case, so this video is going to be more of a ramble. I'm going to list out and talk about some points from what I've seen and heard and read about. I don't really know where I'm going to end up in terms of a conclusion, but if you have comments, please leave those in the description box below. And this video, so for all my fellow Michigan football fans, this is not football related, so if you want to come along on this ride, come along. But this one does not involve the maize and blue and the winged helmets. In any case, this one's going to fall under the topic area of current events, and it's going to fall under my principle of critical thought, because this is a thought piece. You know, I didn't follow the Botham Jean tragedy or shooting closely. More so, I followed it at a distance based upon what I was hearing and seeing in the media. But discussions heated up last week when Amber Guyger, who's the police officer that shot and killed him, when she got sentenced. And I think the first thing that really caused people to scratch their heads was that she only got 10 years. And you know, Botham Jean was 28 years old, so I think the thought process was that she would at least get 28 years because that's how long he was alive. So 1 year for every year that he was alive. So the 10-year sentencing seemed to be like a slap on the wrist, especially since, from what I'm hearing, she could get out in a much earlier time based upon something like good behavior. So that had people scratching their heads, and it seemed like it was somehow maybe the police force or the city taking care of one of its own employees. And police departments are known for, or they're very much thought of as being fraternities within themselves, where the individuals take care of each other regardless of what the individual has done. The other thing that had people scratching their heads were the bailiff, the judge, and Botham Jean's family. And so, looking at some of the pictures and you know, watching some of the commentaries, the judge, I believe her name was Tammy Kaep, who is an older black woman, and interestingly, she's in a sorority, Delta Sigma Theta. She looked very emotional during, at least when Botham Jean's brother was saying whatever it was he was saying. And then apparently when the whole thing was done, she hugged Amber Guyger, gave her a Bible, and just seemed very affectionate towards her in spite of what had happened. So that looked a little odd. Allegedly, the bailiff, who was another black woman, was sitting there playing with Amber Guyger's hair in a very affectionate way, which looked to me to be very odd and very, very weird. And then there was the whole forgiveness piece by Botham Jean's brother and by his family, which I think really reverberated throughout the black community in a negative way. Because the question is, how can you forgive someone who killed your sibling? And someone on one of my Twitter accounts actually, well, there were numerous reactions to it, but someone on one of my Twitter accounts reacted basically the same way and said, well, how could you forgive this person who shot and murdered your brother? And I tweeted in reply that it's probably this individual's Christianity or his Christian beliefs and values that have compelled him to take that position. Some people have suggested that the Jeans are Caribbean and they have an unhealthy love for white people, but I think it's probably their Christian values and beliefs. And that's something that Christianity teaches, and it's a basic tenet of Christianity, which is to forgive those who have trespassed against you. So a lot of people are kind of struggling with that right now as we speak, and I don't know if someone shot and killed my brother or one of my close relatives or any of my close friends. I don't know that I would be immediately able to forgive them and walk up and hug them. That was another controversial thing, is that the brother, he not only did he forgive her, but he walked up and he hugged her, which again looked a little, or should I say more than a little, odd in terms of optics. But I don't know that I'd be able to do that with someone if someone murdered my brother. So there were numerous reactions to this in the black community. The Ados people, a descendant of American descendant of slavery. They said, okay, well, the Jean family, they're from the Caribbean, so they're kind of looking at race and looking at this a bit differently than we are, who were born here in the United States. And someone I follow on one of my Twitter accounts, who I highly respect, he tweeted out last night or yesterday that him and his wife went to church yesterday, and I think the preacher was preaching on forgiveness and brought this case up, and he said that he and his wife almost walked out because of how they feel about the situation. So there are a lot of this is causing a lot of feelings in a lot of people, and particularly I think some Christians are struggling with this. Let's see. So again, so this is kind of showing that the law enforcement is a fraternity of its own, and it's a brotherhood and a sisterhood of its own, and it seems as though they will, this adds to the impression that they will take care of their own, regardless of what was done by one of their own. And this kind of gives the impression that the municipalities and the courts may be in on some of this stuff as well. And I will, I'm going to leave the Black Authorities video in the description box below, which captures a lot of this in greater depth than I am. And I'm also going to leave the article about Josh Brown, who mysteriously was murdered over the weekend following the Amber Guyger sentencing. And there's been a lot of speculation over that because it's thought that his testimony, I think if she went for appeal, his testimony would knock that down completely. So there was a need to basically take him out. So I'm going to leave that in the description box below as well. And then I'm going to just close with this. You know, as a black person, you know, when you go ahead and you pursue education and you, I don't know if the camera caught that, but a fire truck or ambulance just drove by. When you're a black person and you pursue education and you ascend to some sort of title or prestige or and you get some sort of clout, you can think that, you know, you're beyond or you're past certain things happening to you. And, you know, there have been numerous incidents throughout, at least in my lifetime, where individuals with titles and names and who are distinguished, they've had incidents with law enforcement and unexpected incidents. And so I guess part of this is you just have to be careful. And just, as my dad always says, keep your eyes moving and just be aware that things can happen to you. Botham Jean, as far as I know, was not a thug on the streets. He was not dealing drugs. He wasn't involved in any gang violence. He was sitting in his apartment eating ice cream. So at any time, anything can happen regardless of your degree level and your level of accomplishment and your level of prestige. So with that, everyone, stay safe. It'll be interesting to see how this whole thing evolves and what ultimately happens to Amber Guyger. And let me know what you think. Please leave some comments in the comment section below. And let me know what you think and what your impressions of this whole thing are. So I'm going to stop this here. Thank you for watching. Always remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.